Alright, let's get a message from the ancestors in regards to the baby, Egypt and biblical cards that came out in the previous reading. That's up. The 111 twin flame, true twin flame connection reading. Let's get a message from the ancestors for the mature man. It says, take note of intuitive messages. So what I'm going to try and do is do it separately, just to simplify it. Tell me more about the energy for this mature. It says 9, be brave and honest. So the mature man's having to follow his intuition on something, follow that inner guidance. And this mature woman's having to step out now and be brave. That's a kind of energy of stepping out now with all that you've learned within this time. Kind of energy. Be brave and be honest. Now is the time where you're going to have, it's like ending that last cycle and having to now speak your truth, the whole truth and nothing but the truth kind of energy. That justice. Like I said, there's two different things going on here for the mature man and the mature woman before union. I picked that up in the last reading that's up on YouTube now on the channel. So that's the message from the ancestors. I want to get overall energy. Bottom of the deck was just now the Death card and the Tower card, Scorpio energy. Some would say the Tower card is also Aries energy. And this is the card, and it's well on biblical. And this is the card that came out today in the reading that I was unable to record. The Hierophant card, wisdom. Justice is at the bottom of the deck. There's some kind of justice in this situation, be it legal justice or be it karmic justice, spiritual. Like in the last reading, the Hierophant card was representing overcoming the cycles of historical conditionings, breaking the cycles, overcoming them in the current situation, in this era. The reading's starting to come back to me a lot more now. So it was about breaking the cycles of that era and bringing a whole new way of living in this era, because there was some kind of indifference between the mature man and the mature woman, which needed healing. That's been going on over generations, over generations, over generations. it's a time to take action. Again, this is a repeating card, but it was at the bottom of the deck. It didn't actually come out in the reading. It was at the bottom of the deck of the last one of this deck. So I can see it's a similar energy that's coming through. So now I'm going to try and get comparisons between the two energies and the relevance to it. Two cards want to come out, I only wanted one. It said bridges, healing. Self-esteem. I can't say or even pronounce the name of this goddess. But what I'm going to do is pause the video and read it from the book, and anything relevant I'll read back out. Because it's a long read up, these ones. I want to get the energy now for this mature man. So I'll pull this card and I'll pause it, read up the cards that come out, and then I'll come back in. Although you wouldn't notice. Unless there's something relevant, well, there's going to be something relevant. So I'll read the most relevant part. Two cards again. So we've got balance, which wants to come out in the 3 shuffle. And travel. That's the names of the god. As cards come out, I kind of put them where, I don't know, just where I feel it should go, and then as the reading goes on, the cards kind of land where they want to go. So I'm going to pause that and then read. Actually, let me pull some more. The last reading I done kind of fairy tale energy to it as well. I can't remember the two energies that the mature man and the mature woman were in, but there was definitely some connection to the reading itself. So I thought it would be useful to put them into this reading here as well. There was also, I can't remember the ones, I used them in the one that wasn't recorded, and the frog princess, I believe, came out, and I can't remember the other one, the pumpkin something or the other. So let's see. That's no joke. That is no joke. It's the same energy I'm tapping into. Same energy. Tell me more about this mature woman. cards came out. One card. It says, "Dawn the golden head." So I'm going to read these, and then I'm going to come back and break it down some more with another 2 more cards that's going to compare the energies and the characters of the mature woman and the mature man around the historical times, the biblical times, and also the current times, just to see what this generational pattern is that's needing healing right now. Alright, I've just done a quick read up on it. Well, I say quick, it was a while actually, but so here we've got self-esteem. I'm not going to try and say the goddess's name because I just can't. So there's the goddess's name here. Look up these names for yourself and do the research. There's something in them. So it says self-esteem, that represents self-esteem, this goddess. And then we've got Bridget, she represents the energy of healing. And then we've got Dawn, the golden hair, and that's to do around duty and care, I suppose, care of self from when I get the energy of the reader. So it says, I mean, the name of this goddess here, the one I just showed you, or one of the 2, can't remember now. I believe that's the one I just showed you. The meaning of her name, or the surrounding energy around her, means to shine in heaven. That self-esteem, that shining within. Because I go on to say, the energy here, this one here was self-esteem. The reason why she possesses that name is because she possesses the energy of sun, of that dawn energy, and this is where these 2 cards come in alignment now, 2 different decks. But the name Dawn is quite regularly mentioned. It's quite regularly mentioned. But it says that this goddess here, the goddess of self-esteem, had such low self-esteem that she locked herself in a cave, in a dark cave, and she would hear the joys that was going on around her, of the happiness of the people and this and that, despite having no energy of sun. So one day she was curious and she put a mirror outside of the cave, and one day out of curiosity she went to have a peep to see what was going on outside, and because her energy was so radiant, it reflected the mirror, and she saw her reflection back at her, and she then saw her inner self. So her self-esteem began to grow. I'm going to read it here. Let me find it back where I had it. Alright, it wants to be lost, so I have to re-find it again. So the part here, so it says, call upon this God when you are feeling low in self-esteem and when you are feeling like you are not enough. This God's very name means to shine in heaven, and this is what the goddess encourages us to do. Let our own light shine. First we have to understand ourselves a little better and know how truly important we are to those around us and to the world at large. Without building true self-esteem from the inside out, creating true love of ourselves, we are limited in what we do. The effects of low self-esteem can promote our lives easily. We don't love ourselves, or when we only rely on others for our love, it is difficult to stay balanced. Keep our boundaries, have a healthy body image, be successful, and simply enjoy our lives to the fullest. We see the effects, particularly when we shy away from taking positive risks and growing. Having positive self-esteem means we shine, and that is evident for all to see. Shadow side. If our strong, healthy self-esteem tips over into arrogance or narcissism, it is not true balance. In this world full of celebrities who are nothing but pretty faces, who are famous just for being famous, it is not surprising that many people believe that self-esteem and self-worth come from the outside in, from the admiration of others. Take the admiring people away, and if there is no solid core of self-worth, there is little left. So that was that God, that self-healing God. Then I moved on to the next God, healing. And the part I marked in here was, many writers, filmmakers, farmers and healers ask for inspiration and healing energy from this God. So that's this God here. The goddess is still very popular throughout the world through her later apparition by the Christians. She is known as Saint Bridget, a patron saint of Ireland. Her current sanctuary, situated in Kildare, contains a sacred flame. I believe that's the name of it. Kildare, Kildare. She appears in your life to heal you, often by inspiring you. Her energy is powerful and effective. She encourages the full expression of appropriate emotion and the creative spirit. It is said that no one who offers trust to her is disappointed, and she always compassionately does her best to assist. Her presence will help any creative projects or emotional journeys or discussions. She is a wonderful goddess to call upon when you need to burst out of a rut and get excited about life again. The shadow side. When her son was killed in battle, her grief grew into dark hatred. However, she overcame this hatred by expressing her grief. She wailed and cried so loudly and with such emotion that it is said she healed herself and inspired unity in the Irish tribes. When you feel that a dark emotion such as hatred or jealousy is building inside you, remember that she did not let it control her life. She grieved appropriately and she was able to move on. So that's that energy. So this now brings me back to the reason I did about the Empress in the previous series of This is the Family Fair, when I said seek refuge in your solitude. Literally, that's what I titled it. So it's like within this solitude that this mature woman's in, she's dealing with a lot right now, or she had dealt with a lot, past energy, on rebuilding back self-esteem due to a relationship that may have had narcissism traits around it all. So there was a need for her to go into an isolation, dark cave energy to heal, to rebuild that self-esteem energy back. I need now for her to step out and speak her truth. To be brave now. It's time to move forward from that past cycle forward. High Priestess energy, that healing energy. This energy has been able to heal herself through whatever is going on and what led her to get into this isolation, retreat, solitude, refuge energy. Within that energy, she's learned to heal herself and in turn can bring healing onto others. High Priestess energy. Who I believe now could well be a friend energy in regards to this mature man. I say that because this is a connection of support. This was a connection of support. Now I understand, if you go back to my previous simplifying message, why the 5 and the 6 is here. I thought it was something to do with maybe age. Could be like a year's age difference. And then I also said maybe it's because they're slightly different on the journey. Not too far, but not quite on that journey yet. Where this mature woman may have seen a way out of a situation. Now she's now got the curtains open, ready to step out. This mature man still seeking knowledge, still in that isolation energy. So it could be that this mature woman is just bringing a shoulder to cry on, which in turn leads to intimacy. Not this mature man's usual type. Not this mature man's usual type. But through the compassion that this mature woman has in regards to the situation that this mature man's in, this is how that twin flame connection now is going to ignite. Two complete opposites in one connection, becoming one, meeting. I don't know, it could be just random meeting. You don't know this person from Adams, but a connection, an attraction, a chemistry is being built up here. I'm feeling, just from what I've read through the book. So it says here for Dawn of the Dawn the Golden Hairs, says here this princess, by keeping her word and letting him grow close to her, breaks a spell. Because let me tell you the story about her now. There was somebody who was in love with Dawn. Let's say her name's Dawn. That's what it says here. There was somebody who was in love with Dawn, and they wanted to marry Dawn. They were fearful to actually come out and ask, so they sent a message saying, as a proposal to the mother and father energy of Dawn. Dawn's parents said that's entirely up to Dawn. So when the messenger came to Dawn and said, this is what this person of interest wants in regards to marry you, she set 3 tasks for this. I believe it was the king, I can't remember the story now fully, but 3 tasks for him to do. 3 tasks that it was impossible really. But because this king, say, had done so much favors for others, these favors that Dawn had asked of him became an easy task because he had help from those who basically owed him a favor then. The final task was to kill a giant in their land that was creating fear. They wanted freedom. Dawn wanted freedom over the land. But she knew that if he'd killed this giant, he would have to go. But he wanted his boss then, let's say, to have the hand in marriage so bad that he actually called upon the favor of the bird. I can't remember which one in particular. And this bird took the eye out of the giant. He took the eye out of the giant, so that killed the giant. Dawn now had to say bye to this hero then, because that's what he was. Who in turn she married this man, but then had to get sent to prison for the deed that he committed. He committed a crime, so he had to go to prison. I can't remember where the story goes from there. Somewhere along the line, so therefore, so now she was able. I think she had to marry this. I can't remember where it goes. So let me just mark where I read. Where so it says the prince. So by her keeping her word and letting him grow close to her, she breaks the spell. And while in some of its tellings, it was seen that the reward is the beauty of the true prince, hidden within the form of the frog. See, now the frog's in this card. Same day, different cards. But this is how they're showing you the alignment of the reading. It is truly about intimacy and closeness, and the great rewards it can bring. It is also about our keeping our word. So the message for you is twofold. Who or what are you keeping at arm's length? What have you to lose by allowing a worthy soul to grow close to you? What promises have you made? And what have you done to fulfill them? That was the Frog Princess. I just read the end of the Frog Princess. Sorry about that. This is the one I was meant to read. This is the Dawn. So that at last he knew what he would do to gain the favour of the princess for his king. He found her 2 playful puppies and headed for the castle. Dawn herself again, knowing she would marry none. For unknowns to the young man, a huge ogre who lived nearby had sworn to make Dawn his own, and she knew if she married another, it would bring death upon the man, and upon all in the kingdom. But when he came to her, with the fine, playful little dogs, and the kindness shining from his eyes, she felt herself falling in love, and told him of her needs. But he said her hand was intended for his king, and he was merely his messenger, and he insisted that he must try to win her hand. So she signed and gave him her first quest, to find a lost ring which had fallen from her slender fingers as she swam. And to his surprise, the fish, now this is the fish that owed him a favour, so the fish came and found the ring, is where that's leading to. So that was the first task. So the second quest was given. The giant with a yarn for her must now destroy, so she and her kingdom could be free. The young man left. As he approached the giant, this is the story I was saying about the giant, made of skeletons, a former adversary. His friend the crow dove from the skies and plucked out the eyes of the giant. The ogre fell to the ground, writhing in pain. And the young man unsheathed his sword, and took his head. This was not enough, for Dawn had fallen so deeply in love with the young man before her. She wished only to send him on his way, so she would not remind of what she could never have. But he succeeded in the third task. With the help of the wise owl he rescued, and so she married the king, who then threw the loyal young man into prison, as he could see how Dawn adored him. And finally, due to his own jealousy, he passed away. That's the part I couldn't remember. So that's what happened. Dawn was finally able to marry the man she adored, set herself free, and keep her kingdom free too. The story is about a love that seems like it's never going to come into fruition, but which does, eventually. So this card of hope, it is a card of duty, reluctant, but honourable, and is a card about happily ever after, as Dawn and her true love lived, along with 2 little dogs, of course. whilst I was reading that, I kind of paused for a minute. The reason why I kind of paused for a minute is because I remembered the reading of Friends at War. And then I remembered the reading that didn't get recorded about the dark male. There's an energy here that somebody, could be this mature man, was set a task against this mature woman and ended up falling for this mature woman's compassionate ways. I feel that energy quite strong here. I feel the energy quite strong here. Going back to another reading I did now, when it said something about, but this is not within the series I did, but this is in regards to a DM getting caught within his own web. So it's almost like there was some kind of spying energy going on, and maybe this energy was sent as a kind of surveillance, let's say. This is just the energy I picked up on whilst I was reading. And what's happened now is there's been an attraction with the messenger. There's been an attraction with the detour. Honey trap, if you want to call it that. Tell me more about the energy of the mature man. I'm going to read the mature man's bits that I got also, but I just want to clarify that energy I was feeling just now. Tell me more about that. I'm going to do the same thing with these two cards. I'm just going to... So it says, your contradictions and complexities are interesting. That's this mature man's energy. It's like that getting to know each other. It says here, Snow White and the animal friends, and I kind of chuckled to myself. Because I was speaking to a family member in regards to this series 2, season 2, and at the time I don't know why I came up with the title. It was a download again, and I said I told them that I was going to title it The Awakening of Snow White. The Awakening of Snow White, because for some reason it had a Snow White energy to it. This mature woman was going through a dark night of the soul energy, an awakening, an ascension, and she was coming through that. She'd done the healing on herself, and she was now woken up by a prince. And I felt that energy at the ending of when I did the 111 True Twin Flame reading. So it's a bit funny that it's come up now. That's why I'm chuckling to myself right now. So it's showing me that there's an alignment in the energies that I'm tapping into. That's just that nagging, tapping into energy. So yeah, confirm something for me there. Not only is this mature man attracted to the compassionate energy of this mature woman, regardless of how they met, let's say, this mature woman is also a bit amazed. Like it says here, you are unlike anyone else. Maybe there's some kind of an amazement towards. That's the attraction, the curiosity, the attraction, the passion, maybe even, because again, there's intimacy in this energy. There's also a connection between sorry I had to get some water. But like I was saying, there's a connection between the travel god and the god of balance. I just heard time travel. Like there's a, but that's not what the story was. But I'm just looking back at the cards again and everything, and balance. Balance is needed to be brought to this situation. Going back to the feeling I felt just now about the Emperor setting the trap, and if this story is any comparison to what's actually going on in real life, there's something in common between the mature man and the Emperor. I'm gonna kind of leave that energy there for a minute, but could be a Pisces energy. Again, I was picking up there could be an energy to Thailand. There's also an energy going back to the previous series and the Lilith energy, because there's more energy around the cosmic egg. Getting a little bit more serious about the situation now. There was something around like a mother losing their child over a bet to a sister. It would be like the serpent sister then, the serpent queen is depicted as in the book. There was a question of how can this mother and energy get her child back, and there was a immobility that she had to surrender, but that whatever this was, it was surrounded by two serpents of evilness. Whatever had to be rescued was surrounded by two energies of evilness. But this god, flew down and rescued whosoever it was that needed to be rescued. I can't remember the story fully now, but rescued whosoever it was that needed to be rescued. And in passing, he passed this energy. But there was a humbleness about the energy, there was a balancedness about the two of them. Like there was an understanding, a neutral understanding. So it was, again, these two cards, same deck, but there's relevance to each other in the write-up. Again, it mentions another energy around the Holy Trinity. So even though I've done the Holy Trinity, Mother, Father and Child energy in the first series that picked up the Genesis biblical energy, all of that part, that kind of healing, it's now picking up another energy of the Holy Trinity, showing me that this is all about that foundation healing. If it's anything to do with the energy of the last readings that I did, it's about that foundation healing generational cycles. But now this is just another cycle of another karmic energy that needs to be healed all over again. This is the healing energy that this mature woman now is coming into in regards to this energy. So it says, call upon this God, when you are about to undertake a difficult journey or for protection whilst traveling. If you need to make connecting flight, are traveling on your own for the first time, or even learning how to drive, that God will listen to your petition and help you. His presence in your life may indicate travel is near, or that the phoenix aspect that you will flourish after a period of trial and possibly hardship is active. This God symbolizes speedy and violent actions. This is the shadow side of it now. Although righteous in nature, and so it is often used as a military symbol today. This God poses the question whether force is always the best way, as he was able to negotiate with Vishnu, that's this God. This is that meeting, that humble meeting I was telling you about. Instead of fighting him, traveling certainly one of the great joys of life can open our perception and understanding of others, or it can contribute to indifferences and inequality. Be mindful of how travel is a two-way experience and a true exchange. How can you respect those you visit? How can you honor your ways too, and be an ambassador for all that you are? Respect others' space, traditions, whether that is respecting another's car on the road or respecting another person's country. Second one, trying to find the passage. So it says, Vishnu, the preserver, is the middle part of the Hindu trinity. So this is where I saw that trinity, that three again, between Brahma, the creator, and Shiva, the destroyer. So far, Vishnu has been reincarnated 9 times to assist in balancing the powers of light and darkness. These incarnations or avatars include those of, I believe it says, Rama, Krishna, and Buddha. There is a 10th reincarnation to come when a hero called Kalki will appear, I believe it says, riding a white horse to again balance the decline of humanity. So he's known for his energy and strength. He uses these to keep order in the universe and to subdue injustice and install harmony in the avatar. So let me tell you, this energy for me, let me just break it down to what I'm feeling. This energy for me is this time here of Corona. So this change is divinely orchestrated. This is something that was in the stars destined to happen. I feel like that's that Hierophant energy. This is a time where within this Hierophant energy and this energy of balance, the harmony is the justice that's coming. Lover's card at the bottom of that deck. There's order that's going to be brought to whatever this false doctrine or whatsoever this pattern is. There's order that's going to be brought to it. Harmony is going to be brought, and it's going to be brought within this time of isolation, this time of destruction that's taking place now. I'm going to throw 2 more cards, pause and read them, and then come back again. So that was the energy of the masculine energy there. Starfish. Dolphin. That's the masculine and this is the feminine's energy. This is the energy of, I'm asking now what needs to be released. What's the shadow aspect that needs to be released in regards to the healing process moving forward from whatever this generational, historical, biblical pattern is? What needs to be focused on the most within this cycle for the mature man? The whole deck was about to fall out of my hands here. Again, I noticed where my cards fell, and it fell on the Hierophant card. Again, I believe this is a time of, now we know better, it's time to do better. The card that came out is Parasite. Card number 19, break it down. That's 10. Endings and new beginnings. Breaking the cycle of an old way of thinking, an old thinking pattern. Bringing something new, something different. Now we know better, it's time to do better. That's the masculine's energy. I'll read it out of the book. Just gonna pull the for the mature woman now. Again, knock the hyphen right off. Atonement. So I'm going to read these 6 paragraphs here and I'm going to come back. Alright, so I'm going to read this one first. So this is the shadow element of what it is that this mature woman is needing to look into. But even before reading in the book the explanation to the card, I can see an energy here of this mature woman taking her pain and rising from it, growing and healing from it. You can't see, but there's water, so there's blood. There's no blood. There's swords in her back, but there's no blood. It's almost like someone's built up a tough skin against betrayal, hurt, and all of these kind of things. There's water coming out of her hands, so it gave me the energy of like water off a duck's back. Like there's an element of built-upness around her. So here it says in the book, it says, atonement is about paying the bills unadulterated, unfiltered, not recognized, not negotiated. It is about full and open acceptance of consequences and a little more. It is also about paying for the price of others, letting go of all ifs and buts, and taking it all in, whether it's ours to take or another's to shoulder. If you have a piece of what puts you at fault, normally you would try to separate it and weight it in event evenly with what makes the other at fault, and with what you made it right, a little for a little, but it really does it move anything forward. Sometimes we need a clean slate, and it's done by going through it all, paying more than is due to create closure for yourself, for others. You take the dark in so that others can stay in the light, even if they don't deserve it, even if you don't deserve it. So what I get from that is, it's that healing energy. And when I even read into the dolphin card again speaks of healing energy. So it shows me that this mature woman has gone through a certain particular life cycle in order to bring healing to herself and to others. So I feel like now she's closed one cycle and another cycle's open. It's almost like that quantum leap. It's another English series that was on like years ago. I'm talking about maybe 80s, 90s. Quantum Leap it was called, and every season or every series, I would say, he was shimmering to another lifetime, another realm. So that now she's shimmered into another cycle, and within that other cycle, it's linked. I feel like for some reason this mature man is linked to the emperor. They all got it's almost like they got caught, starfish energy. It's almost like they got caught in a net that was unseen. This energy here. Somebody, honey trap, when you set up a honey trap, when you send that person in as bait, that person now has become an attraction. Pushing aside now, let's bring it back, the emperor. The emperor is now off the scene, and now this mature man and this mature woman have got more in common. More of a power couple energy, twin flame energy. And it's just as surreal as that. It's just as surreal as that. How the two energies have met. From the energies I'm picking up from the reading. I can't say, but that's the energies I'm feeling here. So here, card 19 in the masculine's energy. Parasite. Relationships are not zero-sum. It's not a zero-sum game. Of course, using each other is a part of a game, but it's quite different when you take the shape of supporting rather than manipulating or exploiting. So it's like, again, going back to the energy, I felt like this was an energy that came in to manipulate and exploit the mature woman. I don't know what the tarot's going to say, but this is what I'm getting from the energy of the oracle. And in that exploitation, going back again to the other reading about why must you exploit your karmic, I see it here again, but in a slightly different way. Slightly different way. Now we're dealing with mature people. In the other reading it was young energy. In the long run, a good relationship is a win-win, where the more I give, the more I get, and the other way around. Still, it's not always like this, isn't it? Not just in bad relationships. In the short run, bad is bound to happen, even in the house of true love. We cling, we bite, we hunger for safety and freedom and support. And on the other side, we get mangled, bitten, demanded on. Well, it happened, and it will happen again. It is a part of the game, but if it happens too often, it creates a toxic environment. It doesn't matter if we are the victim or the perpetrator. As poison is shared equally. One gets the pain, another one gets the advantage, but the toxic part, they both get. Fully a parasite, a leech, kills itself as much as it kills the host. It sacrifices the journey to the destination, and then the destination to its own failures. The problem is not living as sheep, but the true problem is living as sheep for 100 years. I'm going to read this star card. So the starfish, it says beautiful, alluring, superficial or shallow. That's this energy, masculine energy. It says the starfish is a natural and extinct beauty, memorizing to all. Being around someone with starfish energy is a thrill, like you've been put under a spell of divinity itself. The problem is these creatures have been relying on how they look and what other people think of them for so long that they may have forgotten their deeper callings. When this card appears, it's important to ask, am I being swayed by an outward appearance? What dreams have I put aside to please others? When in balance, uplifting, artistic and expressive. When out of balance, gossip feels empty. To bring back into balance, positive friends. Whilst I'm here, I'm going to read the energy of the feminine. So the energy of the feminine says, the gifts of the dolphin are beyond what our human minds can grasp. Dolphin personalities are often drawn to the healing arts as they are sensitive to the subtle and enjoy working on the level of spirit. It's easy for dolphin types to underestimate the impact they make in the world. These creatures play such an important role in the wheel of karma that coming in contact with a dolphin type will change the entire course of your day and thus your life. This card can also indicate a profound blessings on the way. When in balance, activate healer, strong spiritual practice. When out of balance, underestimates our own power. To bring into balance, like-minded spirits. So again, it's showing it, and this is why, again, when I said I was speaking to my family member, and I was talking about this series that I've tapped into here, this is what I will say, Season 2, Series 1. The Awakening of Snow White. Remember, the first series started about this Empress, this mature woman. And in this season, it's like she's now came out of that solitude, refuge, isolation energy, and is now stepped into a high priestess healing energy. And in doing that, there's a cycle from the previous cycle slipping through. How this connection came into existence is a grey area. It's a grey area for me. I'm picking up on quite a few different energies. I'm picking up on now Snow White, this mature woman, found healing through this energy, not only, but now is almost turned to a healing support energy, shoulder to cry on for this mature man, where a connection's being formed behind the scenes, a connection's being formed here. There's a lot these two have got in common. So whatever it was that this mature woman has done to heal herself, she's now going to pass on that wisdom and that knowledge, that inner standing now, to this mature man. I'm going to pull these cards and then I'm going to pause and I'm going to go into the tarot. That's what I've got here so far with this part of breaking down what I feel like the energies are from whatever this historical, biblical cycle is about. Biblical, historical and current past, recent past of what's actually going on now. There's a connection that sparked from kind of nowhere, and I say kind of nowhere because I wouldn't say that this mature man and this mature woman, I got a feeling like it wasn't, they never met by mistake. Their paths were destined to be crossed by one way or the other. Be it that it was a honey trap, be it was anything along them lines. Regardless of what the situation is, there's now a connection, and it seems to be a strong chemistry, a strong attraction, a true twin flame power couple connection that's going on here. So tell me more. There's a passion ignited here. Passion ignited. Rejoice in celebration. So at this point, at the bottom of the deck, there's that power energy coming again. 6, there's a balance being brought to this, a divine balance being brought to this situation. Again, I felt like this is a divine connection, and regardless of how this connection came into existence, it was a destined connection, and through that there's a passion being ignited here. There's a reason to celebrate here. Heart chakra is being opened up. So I'm going to go into the tarot. So like I was saying, to me it feels like a union that's going to come into balance. Whoever this mature man is, I feel like with the sixth third eye chakra, I feel like it's going to come, there's a balance soon coming between these two. They're not on the same page right now because I feel like there's a major difference between the two. Or there's major things going on between the two, but something's separating and keeping this connection from coming into union. I was going to jump into the tarot, but I just want to quickly pull some more oracles. Just because when I was shuffling in the tarot, I picked up on more energy. Like, there was a message from the ancestors here, and it says, be brave, be honest. I feel like this energy here, because this is the card of the energy that this mature woman needs to most look into at this point of her journey right now. And it's about speaking her truth, speaking about her pain to others, that healing energy again, I picked up on here. So I feel like this energy is ready now for a new cycle, especially here with the one. That's a new beginning energy here. In the traditional tarot, that would be like a Ace of Wands, a passionate new beginning within work, relationship, within ourselves, moving on from past cycles, healing. There was an energy that there was a need to heal the relationships that was around her. So that energy looks like it's in process. Again, this mature man, he's got a lot of green around him. A lot of green around him. And I associate this green, green is to do with your heart chakra. There's an energy around him where a celebration's coming into. There's a realization this mature man's come to. And in the previous reading I did, titled 111, Powerful Twin Flame or True Twin Flame Connection, there was an attraction here, and I can see where his heart is open up. It's gone from stage by stage. So it's gone from the stage of him leaning on this energy for a kind of support mechanism and falling for the compassionate side of this mature woman. The card here says, you are unlike anybody else. So it's a kind of energy where I was picking up on, I never knew you was like that kind of thing. More so believing in idle gossip kind of energy. But through all of that, getting to know each other, I feel an energy of celebration now. That heart chakra is reopened. From that grey area that I was picking up on, there's now a rejoice. Whether it's within this union, I don't know, but let's see. Tell me more. I don't want to come out instantly, I didn't even get to ask. So it says, controlling cold, dictator, lack of structure, losing your head. And it fell right down here from healing. Tell me more about this energy of the frog princess. My phone's energy. This card wants to fly. So it says, letting go of people, shedding the old, sharing, giving to others. That's that moving on from something. That healing energy. It's something that this mature man needed to heal from and let go of. Tell me more about this rejoice and celebration. What's blocking this energy of rejoice and celebration? It says broken engagement, cheating, bitchiness, heated emotions. Three of Cups. These two cards will almost kind of represent the same thing. So what was blocking that was this broken engagement, this cheating, bitchiness, and the heated emotion. What I take note of is where it flew over into the energy of passionate, ignited over here. Let's see, what's been the blockage here? Retirement for this mature. So it says lack of balance, overwhelmed, overextended, and no plan. Again, this is the energy of what was blocking, this energy of the lady standing with the sword in her back. And it says lack of balance, overwhelmed, overextended, no plan. So that, again, I feel like that was a past energy. That's what was blocking the healing process. But I can see that's overcome now, because now this mature woman's in the one's energy, the new beginnings energy. So the Five of Pentacles is the card that first came out for all of these. So we've got the Five of Pentacles that came out in the reverse, and so I just got a whole energy go round in my sacral chakra. So that's an energy. Someone's feeling that passion, that fire is being reignited for somebody. Five of Pentacles in the reverse is the energy of somebody coming out of the cold. Somebody's opening up now. So it could be this mature man now that's opening up, letting in this energy, that talking a bit more, that getting to know each other energy. Tell me more about the energy of this mature man. Again, we've got here it says earthly power, so it's joint up writing, so it's a bit hard to read here. It says earthly power, and that's the Four of Pentacles. So we've got the 4 to the 5. So from holding on, from keep. Okay, I understand now. Clear message. So in the recent past, this mature man was kind of closed off. It was a closed off energy towards this mature woman. But there's a passion that's going to be ignited right now, where if this mature woman was felt anyways left out in the cold, then there's going to be a change in that energy. Tell me more about the energy of the Four of Pentacles. The slow progress I get from this. The slow progress. Strength card. That's that slow progress energy I was picking up on while shuffling. Because I see from the 4 to the 5. There's the 3 of Cups again. I don't know about that. And there's truth, clarity, realization. There's the Ace of Swords and the 3 of Cups. Truth is going to be brought to this situation. So if there was any lies being told in this situation, truth is now coming out. There's going to be truth to why somebody was while this mature woman maybe was left out in the cold in the situation.